How's it going, everyone? It is Liam Catterson here with another episode of Chucky. We're on episode number 4, as we will have completed the first half of this season by the end of this episode, which has been absolutely incredible. And I'm excited to see where episode 4 does take us, especially given the ending of the last episode, which things got a bit heated, you could say. Yeah, we have Lexi potentially in a spot of bother with the fact that obviously she was smoking weed. She knows about Chucky being sentient, but no one's going to believe her, especially with once they find out that Lexi was on weed and the house catching fire. There's obviously an unknown number of casualties that's going to... I mean, we obviously know Oliver's dead, so there is that, but apart from that, we don't know who is going to get affected, especially with the fire swarming the house. Not that, you know, half the kids would ever recognize, so yeah, but there was that push, of course, in terms of having Jake being nudged in the right direction in Chucky's mindset in terms of getting rid of Lexi. Couldn't go through with it, so yeah, it will be very, very interesting to see what does happen in this episode, as well as what's going to happen in the second half, because I'm sure there's a few key players maybe familiar to the Chucky films that are yet to appear, but this is like, I feel like with what we're getting with Jake, this is setting things up, and then obviously coming into the second half, we can really, really get into it. So with that said, let's get into episode number 4 of Chucky. Let's go. No one bats an eye with Jake just marching straight forward. Oh no. Please tell me she's gonna make it through this okay.
Jake.
It's gonna be Lexi, yeah.
You're here.
He died in the fire. A fire.
Wow.
That wouldn't have even happened if you didn't send that thing after me.
I mean, who was the one that was smoking
Maybe I'm
weed?
still alive. But that doesn't mean you didn't kill anybody at that party.
Oh, come on.
Stay the hell away
Really?
from me.
Are we putting this onus on him? I mean, I know Jake would be beating himself up, but you don't need to say anything.
Lexi, Jake wasn't even there.
You gonna say that a doll did this because of Jake? No one's gonna believe you. Like, this is the one time I have an ounce, a smidge, sympathy for Lexi.
She has these ideas about you. She just doesn't know you like I do. See ya. See ya.
No, she does not, but... It's like Devon said, it could have been an intruder. I'm sure his mum could
thinking about the Haydens.
potentially
Can you imagine?
think the same in
Going out
terms
trying
of
to
Jake
get
could
that
have
call.
snuck in and...
Oh, fuck you.
Hey, what's going on?
I don't appreciate that.
Oh, you don't appreciate what I
I
apologize.
don't deserve this, okay? My daughter is in the ICU
The
right
Hayden
now.
son is dead. Thanks to your negligence.
Oh, shit.
None of you knew where your kids were, but somehow I'm the negligent one. I'm the only bad parent
Jesus,
here.
Michelle, nobody's saying that.
Her kid's the one with that podcast.
What?
Oh, why are we bringing her into this?
Disturbing.
Watching your son compete so you can relive your glory days, it's not parenting, Logan. It's pathetic.
Oh my god! Shit!
Arrest him! Can we all just talk? No, I want to press charges.
I'd like to press charges too.
Everybody shut up!
Yeah, I think everyone needs to fucking
The medical
chill.
examiner has determined the cause of death for Oliver Hayden. Severe blood loss as a result of multiple stab wounds.
Oh my god, I'm scared of getting killed by a toy. Since no one else will believe me, I'm stuck with you. So what do we do?
Got this unlikely alliance. Because Jake doesn't
Say
want
we
to
go
kill.
back to your house. See if he's still there.
I wouldn't.
Fine. It's not like my parents will realize I'm gone anyway.
You gotta do it because you love it. I want to hear it.
There's that
I love
anxiety.
cross country.
Boy.
See,
This
there
is
may
just a
be
little
that
setback.
pressure for Junior.
I'm gonna do.
Well, at least we know where Chucky is. Oh my god, he is he's probably been watching this and is toying with him. Oh.
You little brat. What the hell's wrong with you?
Sorry.
I mean, it's just a bit of mud. Oh, hey! What the hell?
This is my only pair.
Sorry.
Damn, this janitor's a real stick.
Mosley Ray spent a few relatively quiet years in the
But
boys'
that
home
might be a
until
regretful
another
move.
violent incident.
Shit. Ah! Nice! That's the janitor, isn't it? And, oh my lord.
Captain Hook. We got him.
You know, I know Peter Pan was dark, but fuck.
You got guts, kid.
Same. Oh, nice. The same thing that serial killer said to Chucky. Yeah, well, Charles.
Stop asking me that.
Just trying to be nice.
But you're not nice, Jake.
Wait, and you are? You're the
It's not
queen of
because of you.
kindness?
You happy now?
I'm not happy. I killed somebody, all right? I wanted to kill you
Jake.
because you're a bad person. Do you treat everyone around you like they're nothing? You just
He's
expect
spitting
them to take it.
facts.
Stop it!
I wanted you to die, but not because there's something wrong with me. It's because you fucking deserved it.
Yeah, you're gonna save her.
This is life giving you a second chance to be the man you know you want to be. Not
I
the
don't.
scared
Yeah,
little
and it's
pussy
not
you
gonna
tried to
be
make
a serial killer.
Just let go. The world's gonna be better off without it. Just one less little vicious Karen on training wheels.
Wow. Wow.
No, I'm not like you, Chucky. I'm not a killer.
And I think that's gonna gain some points there.
Jake, I'm doing my best.
Shit.
What the? Is this your sister's doll?
Your dad asked me to bring it back for ugly fucking doll, if you ask me.
What? Let's go, you
Oh boy. It's what he wants. Get some running.
Thanks for not letting go.
There you go. He's earned some points there. Maybe a bit more of a respect might emerge. Oh, what did he do? What did he do to that officer?
My room. You can talk there.
Yeah. The circle is expanding. Wait, does that Liam's curious. Wait, is there a second Chucky running around? Because we know that that is a thing. Certainly loves his food. Oh! But he's not gonna like that. Oh, he's gonna... Oh, lovely!
I can't move.
That's because I hit your spinal cord. Sorry, asshole, but I just couldn't take it for one more second. From the minute I first saw you, you know? I couldn't stand
It's
your
destiny.
fucking face.
Yeah, look who's talking.
Maybe I'm just projecting. God, I love hospitals.
see the reference. Yeah, it's the fucking hand. Why? Fucked up. I mean, that thing's gonna rot, but...
I don't need the things people...
Go to sleep.
Don't need a time, SHILDON. Just something simple to keep a smile on. I think our time can get better. That way...
Oh, there's that kind of link to the whole Peter Pan thing that he was telling. Like, I don't know. With him getting out the window, I might be stretching.
To just stop hitting you when you didn't know what else to do. And Oliver, did you need him to just stop bullying you?
Wow.
And you did. Because for some reason, all roads lead back to you. Or more precisely,
Junior,
to your
Lexi.
Code White. Resuscitation teams and D58.
Chucky! You son of a bitch! You haven't let Jake out of your sight, so surely you gotta believe him to be innocent, right? Yeah. Alright, so surely that detective has not let Jake out of her sight all throughout, ever since, you know, he emerged. So surely she's got to believe Jake is innocent, right? Because I can't really think of any reason why Jake would be linked to that officer dying. Because he's been in her sight ever since. So... Man, I was thinking this is going to be one middle finger. Like, this is all gone, pardon me, really, really perfectly for Chucky. And, man, it was intense. It was a really intense Fallout episode, which saw some bridges potentially connect with Jake and Lexi. I am really intrigued to see what they're going to do with Lexi and her character now that she is in on the know. And the circle is expanding now that Devon is involved, and now he's seen Chucky move firsthand. But Lexi especially, considering she was really, really insufferable, and sure, she had her moments in this episode. But there seems to be like a layer of connectivity with her and Jake especially, I guess. So, because she really doesn't have a problem with Devon. It's more so her and Jake. But, yeah. Yeah, sometimes when it comes to a big scenario happening, you usually have that Fallout kind of aspect to an episode. And I certainly did feel that with this episode, of course, with Caroline being in a coma, which was really, really heartbreaking. And then Chucky decides to fuck around with everyone. Don't think his intention was to kill Caroline. He could have done so easily. But to cause havoc, really. So, yeah. But not just that, though. We have, of course, Devon. He's doing okay. Junior, his lungs are a bit... But, yeah. Only real casualty, of course, was obviously Oliver. So, yeah. But it presented some very interesting dynamics and... some interesting questions. Like I said, I feel like with Devon's mom, like with Jake, he's in the clear. Ever since Jake arrived at the hospital, Devon's mom has been occupied with him. So, yeah, she can't really connect the dots between this latest murder of that officer and or that detective, should I say, and Jake. So. Yeah. it will be very, very interesting what she has to say now. But we know that the circle of those who know about Chucky is expanding with Lexi. Of course, she found out in the last episode, but there was a bit more of a cool down and processed situation that she was in. And Devin obviously now knows with the fact that he was Googling about, you know, the whole Charles Lee Ray situation and Chucky, and not just that though, but with Lexi verifying everything. The circle is there, so it will be very, very interesting to see how that expands, especially with the fact that I think there might be 2 Chuckies in the hospital, because we saw quite a few occasions what looked like to be a caricature of Chucky run around, and you know, the burnt face Chucky, he was still there when the detective was struggling with the machine, and yet we saw another Chucky presumably just run past. So and it's not exactly for me, it's not exactly a surreal thing, because we had Cult of Chucky establish the fact that, hey, we can have multiple Chuckies here, and I think they might be setting things up in terms of having Tiffany come around, Nika, Andy, I feel like we're just about on the threshold. Especially since things are getting more and more intense with the body count, and the circle is growing. I feel like they are the pieces from the movies, or the latest movies, should I say, are starting to bleed through, and coming into the second half, things will only get a bit more intense, in my opinion, as Tiffany, Nika, etc., they all show up. So yeah. But yeah, I am really, really excited for the prospect of the second half of this season. It's been a phenomenal start. I've really, really, really enjoyed Chucky so far, and yeah, I've just really, really loved the quality. I mean, obviously, with the Chucky series, in terms of the films, it's been a bit of a rocky ride. It's been enjoyable as a whole, but I always see that, like, the first 2 movies, they excel, and then, you know, 3 was okay. I still enjoyed it. Same with Bride and Seeds. So yeah, but I feel like with the Chucky series itself, there is that magic there that the first 2 films especially encapsulated. I feel like the dialogue and the scenarios and whatnot, especially going back into the flashback territory, where it's just linking to certain stuff, it's really, really good. I'm sure that kid Eddie, I'm sure that was his partner as well, way back when. So this would kind of be the catalyst, and it would be a nice mirror to the last episode, where you have where you had that killer compliment Charles for killing his mother, and then you've got Charles basically I wouldn't say becoming a mentor for Eddie, but setting Eddie off onto a very, very lucrative road. So yeah, but the flashbacks were pretty intense, especially the whole Peter Pan situation, and then of course he not just killed the guy, the janitor, should I say, but he also chopped off his hand, and he was like, "Hey, it's Captain Hook. We defeated him." So obviously, Peter Pan has, you know, had some dark iterations and whatnot, but that kind of takes the cake with the maggots and how he sliced off his hand and influenced Eddie and gave the janitor's hand to Eddie, and you know that's gonna need some ice and whatnot, because a few days and it's gonna start to freeze. So yeah, but really, really fantastic stuff with the flashbacks. Back to the present though. Yeah, it was really, really great stuff, especially the team up with Lexi and Jake. And you know what I really, really what I really, really liked about this, I need to take a drink, was the fact that I could see both points. It's easy to resent Lexi, especially with how much of a pain in the ass she has been for these past, in the first 3 episodes, she definitely was a pain in the ass. And obviously there is that processing stage that she was in with this episode. She still delivered some lines that had your eyes rolling, basically. But what I really liked about this episode was the fact that, both Jake and Lexi, they have their points against each other. Lexi had some validity in terms of chastising Jake, especially with the notion that Jake had in order to potentially have Lexi die. It made sense, really. Especially with the fact that you have that Chucky's alive and you sent this sentient thing to my little sister, all because you had some vendetta against me. I can see that, because after everything that's happened, we still have a casualty at the end of the day. And yeah, Jake's gonna feel guilt. I think this episode really did encapsulate the fact that Jake can't be a killer whatsoever. But yeah, someone still died. And it was, like I said, there is this notion that you've sent a dangerous weapon to a 5-6-year-old for her to keep, and that it's sentient, it wants to kill Lexi. So I could understand why Lexi is angry, especially with the fact that Caroline's now in a bit of a coma. So I didn't mind whatsoever Lexi showcasing certain sentiments. I mean, there was some bits and pieces that I didn't agree with in terms of the exchange between, from Lexi's perspective in her blaming Jake and whatnot, but she did have a point. So yeah, and obviously when it comes to bullying, murder's not the answer and whatnot. So yeah, but obviously we know that Chucky has a way of influencing his prey. So yeah, Lexi, she is worried about Jake's mentality, really, with the fact that he had this idea in his head. But like I said, we know how Chucky operates. He is very, very good at getting inside people's head, especially with Jake and his troubled life, and using him as a tool to create a monster. So yeah, but Lexi really needed to listen to what Jake had to say as well, because she needs to realize that what she does, her actions, it will have consequences. It will kick her up the butt. Her bullying will have karma will come, basically, in terms of the fact that she needs to hear the words and she needs to digest them. So all of this retaliation this verbal retaliation, like I said, murder, yeah, bit of a stretch, but this verbal retaliation, Lexi needs to be screamed at by Jake, like, oh, you did this, you did that, etc. She needs to soak in all of that pain that Jake has gone through because of her, and she needs to digest this, really. And maybe she will find a way to change who she is, because she has been problematic. But like I said, I think with Jake yelling at her, etc., she needs to soak that in, and maybe there can be room for development along the lines. Who knows? But yeah, with the fact that there might be a good start, because of the fact that with the fact that Lexi nearly she fell, but Jake saved her. There could have been a moment where Jake could have dropped her and whatnot, but he chose to save her. So and that's a really, really big point, because it's so easy to let go, but Jake just proves that he is not cut out to be the person that Chucky wants him to be, and so Chucky's lost on that battle. because it could have been so easy, and it would have been an easy kill, really. Lexi was completely vulnerable. Either she got pulled up and deprived Chucky from what he wanted to do to Jake, or it could have been this whole complete your training, etc., and your journey towards the dark side will be completely, could have let go, and that's all, folks, for Lexi. So, and now we have this. So, yeah. But it will be very, very interesting, because I do see a potential for growth for Lexi. Which, you know, it kind of hits me in the stomach to say, doesn't it? Because it's like, but, no, I obviously you want to see these characters grow. You can't have Lexi just be a complete prick all throughout until she potentially dies. And you want to see these developments. You want to see these characters grow and realize the consequences to what they've done to certain characters, and realize I am a shitty person. I need to change up my act, really. And we have that potential now. So, yeah. And I also really, just a little side note before I do conclude, loved the parents for both Lexi and Junior just squabbling at each other, ready to, like, that fight. And then Devon's mum was just roped in, like, what the fuck? That was really, really fun stuff. I just really loved them squabbling. It was just really, really insane, just to see them two go at each other's throats, really. So, they made good points as well. So, again, with Lexi and Jake. So, yeah. And you see with Junior's parents, they get called out, especially with the fact that there is this idea, oh, you just want to use Junior as a way to basically, I don't know, carry out your ambitions through him, etc. And then you see Junior's father be like, am I doing this? Junior says that, no, you're not forcing it on me, but I'm not convinced whatsoever. So, yeah, but I am really, really curious about that woman as well, like, with that kid, because I'm suspicious. I'm sure that kid had similar, if not, or if anything, should I say, an exact replica of the whole good guys attire thing. Yeah, I am not sure what her deal is. Maybe she is possessed as well. So, I mean, we have the potential of a second Chucky running around the hospital, because like I said, there was that moment where you saw the pitter-patter of a good guy doll, and yet the Chucky that has been tormenting Jake was still with the detective, whilst he was struggling with the machine. So I am wondering if you know, all the you know, the possessed, those who are possessed, they are converging, etc. As we come into the second half, we got Tiffany, we got Nika potentially, because like I said, with the fact that you have Cult of Chucky, certain elements are going to be carried over into the Chucky series, and I feel like we're coming into the second half, we got to start introducing them into the main gist of things, and it's going to be very, very tasty. So we'll see. But yeah, really great episode. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!